This is MixiSynth, the portable wavetable synthesizer that I've been developing for the last year. In this video, I wanted to go over the key features of the device, and to kick things off, I wanted to enter the instrument creator and show you guys what it can do. So to begin, you can see a group of different options here, and I started by entering the waveform editor. This menu lets you view and change the waveforms the synth is producing, and you can see that right now, I'm just playing the sawtooth wave that the device by default starts with. To begin creating our own instruments though, what I can do is draw right on the screen to create a new waveform. Now this already sounds quite a bit different than before, and with this basic shape drawn, the next step is to apply effects and filters. So I entered the filter menu on the bottom, and when I apply a high pass filter to the waveform, you can see how that changes over on the left, and now it sounds a little bit different. Now you can use these to really shape a sound in a particular direction that you want, or you could do what I'm doing right now and just randomly mess around with different sounds. And while I was at it, the next thing I did was add an effect, and I added what I call an overtone, because it adds a copy of the same instrument an octave higher. But once I was satisfied with how my waveform looked though, you can see on the bottom that I'm pointing at this wavetable slice button. Now, as I said, MixiSynth is a wavetable synth, and what that means is that to produce instruments, it uses a collection of waveforms strung together in sequence. Now, so far, we've just been editing the first waveform in a table with a total of 32 different waveforms, and you can pull out any individual one for editing. So to create a full instrument, I wanted to edit a couple more waveforms, and I decided to edit waveforms 16 and 32. Now, once again, I was pretty randomly just editing these waveforms, but the reason that I chose 16 and 32 was that these are the middle and ending points of my wavetable. Now, it would be kind of a pain to draw all 32 different waveforms, so what I can do instead is go into this interpolation menu, and you can see here that I have two different windows. Now, these are showing the same thing. It's all of the different waveforms in my wavetable, but what I can do in here is select two different waveforms, and I can click this button on the bottom to interpolate between them. By doing this, you can see that as I sweep back and forth, the two waveforms that I drew now kind of morph into each other, and this is going to allow the sound to slowly change between them over time. To make that happen though, I had to enter my wavetable fade menu, and you can see that in here, I have a bunch of different options for how these waves fade into each other. Each of these methods produces a unique sound, and by using the slider at the bottom, you can adjust how fast it's moving between each of those slices. But now with the instrument created, what I wanted to do was add some global effects to it. So the first one I chose here was to go into my envelope menu, and you can see that by adjusting these different values, I'm able to have the sound fade in and out a little bit differently. And once I was happy with that, I can also go into this menu here and adjust the modulation settings. Now you can definitely get carried away here and make some funny sounds, but I decided to crank this one back a little bit just to give it a nice little wobble. And with the basic instrument created here, you can see me going into the output view, and I can show that on the screen. Now you'll also have the ability to save and load instruments to the SD card, and you can see me doing that here. And finally, one of the last things I want to show off here is the composer menu. In here, you're able to place notes down, and you can see you can play that back now. Now you also have the ability to play directly into the composer, and as I'm demonstrating now, you can edit individual notes properties to bind them to different instruments or to adjust their volume or panning. And so that's what MixiSynth is. So if you guys want to check it out and aren't already on the Kickstarter page, you can check out the links down below. Now otherwise, I also have another companion video showing my process of making this, so if you want to check that out, that'll be in the description. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and until next time.